beware of the biting billhook. But in Derbyshire, we have to be grateful for what we can get. Hey up Woodlanders, welcome to this week's woodlog. Oh man, I am wrecked today. Go to sleep for a minute. What did I miss? Right, we'll get some coppice cut. We are attempting to start the Hazel Coppice. We are a little bit early. It's the last week in September. I've got an order on for 500 hedging stakes, and ordinarily I would try and put it off till October. The growing season's over. The dormant season is coming upon us. I'd like to think I was fully ready and prepared for this particular coppice season, but I'm just not feeling the vibe this time. Usually this time of year, every year, get to the end of September, I think, yes, I am ready. Ready for action in the woods, get the coppicing done, let's get some hazel cut. This year I don't know what it is, I just don't feel like it. What it was, I think, is I got so wrapped up with doing projects at home, and I got busy doing other stuff like maintenance work and things like that, and I'm nowhere near finished them, which I find particularly frustrating. This is the coppice. Made an executive decision in that I won't be cutting out everything just yet. I want to just go in and start selectively thinning out some of the stakes. So any stall that looks like it's got plenty of stakes in, I shall have that down and clear it. I'll come back for the rest of this coppice later on, because I don't see the point in cutting weaving rods right now when I don't have any orders for weaving rods. It's a Corsican pine, triple leader, so about 8 foot up. It's got 3 different stems to it, and of course it's all shading out with coppice now, badly actually. So once this coppice is cut, there'll be, this pine's got to come out, and I think we'll take this pine out as well. Anyway, quit your waffle, let's crack on. Dropped it, 5-second rule. One the squirrel missed. It's not gone too bad today really. I've not even had a full day on it. There's still some more in there. I'm probably just over halfway through. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is not how you do coppicing. Coppicing, you tend to cut everything as you work through it. This makes it life very difficult, but I'm just conscious of the earliness of the season and the fact that I only need hedging stakes at this point. Rest assured, if you carry on watching over the weeks and months, this will all get completely coppiced off. And I did just notice there's a few gaps, like where that leaf is there. There should be a stool in there really. These are like, that's about 3 meters apart, and it'd be better if there was one in the middle. And there's a few more gaps down there. So what I'm going to do, and I'll bring you along for that, is when we come to finally coppice this, I use some of the thin wispy stems and we'll do some layering once everything else is extracted and gone. Yeah, it'd be nice to get some layering done. I've planted before in between, and the plants die off because the other stuff comes back too quick. Hey, whoa! What's that? Where's blame as a claim? Now I've got over that little shock to the system. I've got a little bit more coppicing to do this afternoon. I'll quickly get changed, and then we'll try and beat Storm, whatever his face name is. You can perhaps hear a bit of the wind in the background. I keep getting hit by acorns. They're dropping like rain at the minute. You can hear them on my tin roof. It sounds like somebody taking a pop shot at you. I mentioned this the other day, but I definitely think it's a mast year for acorns at least. I've not seen beech mast. Beech mast is usually another one as an indicator. But the amount of acorns we've got, I mean, if I was to plant these, they'd just be everywhere. I'd have mountains of oak trees. If you want to plant a woodland, you need some acorns, never know. I've heard of people doing that, you know, in sort of urban spaces where it's a bit like, oh, you can't plant trees here. Unless you get some sort of 48-page document to say it's okay to plant trees. People will go round with their pockets full of acorns and hazelnuts, and they'll deposit them a bit like that film, is it Escape to Victory, where they had them secret pockets and lifted up their trouser legs and deposited all that soil out into the yard. It's a cracking film, that. And it's, yeah, a bit like an Escape to Victory. They would just drop these little acorns out their pockets, and gradually over time these little self-set acorns would germinate. I mentioned yesterday I wasn't particularly gunning for the coppice this winter. Yay, it's coppice season. However, now I've made a start, that always does help. But let me know, what's your plans for this year's cutting season? A bit sweaty. I've done my tank full, and I'm about 3 stems short of a full tank. We've not had a bad afternoon, all said and done. We've got all of them stakes there. I've no idea how many there are. I'm guessing about 50 to 60 maybe. So that about finishes this bit off. I realised yesterday there is a piece way through that jungle over there. There's some sweet chestnut that I planted about 10 years ago, and I've never touched it. It's not done particularly well, but it's created a canopy and the grass is now subsided, so I'm looking at coppicing that, and I think there might be 20 or 30 stakes in that lot. The rest will go for charcoal. I feel a drink coming on. Let's go home. The guy's trailer's gone sideways. I don't know how on earth he's managed that, but his trailer's on its side. Poor bloke, get himself out of that mess. Running for the all-terrains. Got all the way home and realised I forgot to bag up some charcoal. Good morning all. What an absolute stunning autumn day. I'll go and bundle up and dress those hazel stakes first. I can enjoy the sunny weather bundling up and dressing, because that's much nicer to do than chainsawing. Getting messy. Chainsawing in, I wouldn't say hot weather, but it are on about being 15 degrees today. His saw's blunt. This is a brand new blade. What? If you want to know how to bundle and tie rods, I'll put a link up. Two down, 25 to go. I just can't count. I mean, what is 25 take away 2? I did a video about catkins in January. I'll perhaps just do another one. Catkins in September. People often think, oh, the seasons are all out of whack. Maybe they are, but it's quite normal for hazel to produce or start the early catkin process in September. Come January time, January, February, you get all the little catkins that are put out their dust, and you also get the little pinkish red flowers on them. So this is just the very early start of that cycle of process. Lovely though, isn't it? To see little catkins in September. You think, oh, winter's miserable, but there's some little choice delights that we can look out for. Let me know what little choice delights you look out for in winter. And why would you want to work in an office? Of course, this isn't just to make you jealous or anything. I do have my bad days up here when it's pouring with rain and I'm clagged up to the knees in mud, but today is simply stunning. It seems I might have grown over the summer. I think my legs are longer. I measure my hedging stakes with my legs, so I use 2 paces, but I use the back of my foot there. And it's a bit guesswork, but stakes don't have to be millimetre perfect. However, this year I've done the same. Look at that. You can see I am 12 inches. It's tall. Because I've been cutting these to about 6'4" and not 5'6". I will shrink again in due time and get back somewhere to 5'6". Our first pile has took us to the 140 mark. I'm hoping the next pile gives me that 110 that I need, but that's pretty close to our 250 first batch, and then it's just another 250 after that. In my mind I was sort of hoping that I would get all 500 from our woodland, but I realise there's pretty much no chance of that. Tangled up. Hang on a sec. There we go. Our mission here is complete. We've managed to get 220 stakes with 4 spares ready for the next bundle. We will return to this next week, move beyond these ash trees then down to that little bit of chestnut coppice further down, and we'll see what stakes we can get out of that. I'll see you in the chestnut coppice in a bit. Right, well, today's going well. Excuse me, I've got nut face now. I was spitting walnuts in your face. Apologies for that. Today was going well until the rains have started. Karen and I have made a start in that chestnut. That's a chestnut coppice area. We've been going great guns actually this morning. So Karen drags out for me as I cut the stuff. There's a charcoal firewood pile. There's a pile for stakes, for hedge lane stakes, and then there's a pile that I can use as like posts for timbers in the fence line. So fencing posts, and they sort of, you know, like 3 to 4 inch round. I just might be able to scrape the last 30 stakes I need to get half of the order I need. Got a dash. Hopefully back on this tomorrow. Hey up! That was a squeaky one, wasn't it? Hey up! This morning was a little gardening job. Beautiful day. We've got some fantastic weather coming as well. Somewhere close to 20 degrees I reckon by the weekend. Although you wouldn't think it looking at the state of that, would you? Look at that. I was hoping to extract the rest of that timber stack there this week or next because it's so dry, but that little bit of mush could be the killer to the deal. Anyway, this afternoon we're going to dress those sweet chestnut logs. We need 30 for Pete's delivery. So here I was, happily dressing my rods. And you know when you go to pick up a rod, you get your billhook, you go to pick it up, just use the hook end and just hoik it up a bit, just so you can get it to your hand without having to bend down so far. And the billhook bit me. It's only a flesh wound, thankfully. Beware of the biting billhook. Got myself a couple of minutes. I'm going to try and see if I can maul this blackberry into some sort of shape on my rather rustic frame I've got here. It's like trying to wrestle with a crocodile. Can you hold that? It's not great, but hopefully I'll be able to pick the blackberries a little bit easier next year, and then the year after there's the new shoots I can gradually tie in. I'm planting a couple of hazels that Colin gave me. Thank you, Colin. Nut Heaven here. Look at these babies. Awesome. It's not very often I get sweet chestnut harvest. In fact, I think I've only ever had roasted chestnuts once, and I had them with a bit of salt, and actually they were really, really tasty. You need a really hot summer, prolonged spell of heat when the flowers have got to set. I really didn't think we were given the heat to get them to set properly. Otherwise what you get is instead you get these little flat seeds here, look, which are neither use nor ornament. That's no good. You want the fat ones. And I know if you live down in Suffolk and Sussex, you probably get chestnuts twice the size of that. But in Derbyshire, we have to be grateful for what we can get. Oops, drop one. Precious little lovelies. I filled one pocket. I'm in my second pocket now. Good morning. I'm up with the rabbits and the rain this morning. One of them jobs I was meant to get done yesterday. I ran out of hours. This has got to go off over to Pete in Twycross. You might have heard of Twycross Zoo. So There's a hedge being laid not too far away from Twyford. Pete's doing that on a farm that does all their own lamb, and they've got their own little butcher's shop. And when we drop that off today, I might see if he's got any lamb burgers, because I quite fancy some of them. What a cracking little butcher's shop. And I've managed to get some lamb burgers, which I haven't had for ages, and they are awesome. Some sausage, cracked black pepper, lamb, pea and mint sausage. We've just arrived at Heartwood HQ. Let's see what charcoal we've got in. Should just about do this if I don't burn the clutch out. Keep going, I think we're near there. Made it. I've got 5 or 10 minutes, so I thought I'd just pull these pine needles off these couple of branches and then store them away, because some of these needles are quite long. Look, if you get that one, that's it's got to be 6 inches long, which is great. Makes great pine needle baskets. I've not done one for ages, and I have a little hankering after doing one again. And if I leave these too long, they'll start to rot, and I don't want that. So I want to try and get them under cover and in the dry, and then I can take them home with me. I'll leave them to dry in front of the fire, and then they won't go mouldy then. So Friday has rolled round again. I just want to say I really appreciate you watching, even if you can watch right to the end. I know you committed then. That's great. And of course, if you're able to, enjoy what's left of the harvest season, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.